The Magic are certainly happy to be back here at the Kia Center. If you remember last season, they had one of the best home records in the entire NBA, and they're hoping to do that again this year. You can already see the fans out here. The crowds are lining up. Well, John, you're right. It is gorgeous out here, but things are about to get intense on the track. That's because after tonight's duels, the grid for the Daytona 500 on Sunday will be locked in, that 40-car grid. Now, there are two races tonight. Each duel is a 60-lap race. The Magic keep finding ways to win, even without their biggest stars. Paolo Banchero, Mo, and Franz Wagner all still out with injuries, but other players have stepped up in their absence. The last two games have been come-from-behind victories against the Miami Heat and defending NBA champions, the Boston Celtics. The Jones Tigers, who just finished playing, were looking to make history tonight down in Miami. The school's been around for over 120 years, but has never won a state championship in football despite coming close back in 2019. It was a hard-fought game, but the Tigers fell short, again losing to American Heritage 40-31 in the 4A championship game. Yeah, it's funny. The Magic said they actually had some first game jitters ahead of tonight's season opener at Miami, but you could not tell. They looked like a well-oiled machine from the jump. Now, Orlando trailed 58-54 coming out of halftime, but their offense exploded in the third quarter. Paolo Banchero was on fire all night. He rolls off of the screen, steps back, and nails the three. He had a team-high 33 points. The Gators are just 2 wins away from bringing home a national championship right here to Gainesville. We spoke with head basketball coach Todd Golden a few hours ago during his media availability, and he says he does not want this team to get too far ahead of themselves. That question was asked to him, and he said, "I'm not worried about it. I'm a professional driver. This is just something that, we have to deal with." So he said he's going to come to the track regardless, sun or rain. Obviously, this year's team having some struggles. You will be at the game tomorrow. What is some advice that you would give this year's team?
What advice? Remember why you're doing it.
Yeah, you're right. And the team is feeling pretty good right now, but they're still in what they call an evaluation period. So, of course, they had their fall football camp or their spring football season, but now this is the first time that they'll get to go head-to-head in competition. A lot of things happening right here in Tampa ahead of UCF's big bowl game tomorrow against Georgia Tech in the Gasparilla Bowl. I'm actually here with John Rice Plumlee, UCF's starting quarterback, QB1. What does this fan support mean here at this block party?
Unbelievable.
Hey, the Bucs put themselves in a must-win situation against the Panthers for this Sunday's regular season finale. Win and they clinch a spot in the playoffs, lose and their season is over. The Panthers may be the worst team in the NFC South, but the Bucs can't go into this game expecting to win. Well, it's been an up and down season for UCF. We've seen this team grow so much. At one point, it didn't even look like they would have this opportunity to play in the postseason, but here they are out on the field getting ready for their Gasparilla Bowl matchup against Georgia Tech. Well, just to give you an example of the type of players who are already here in the Ring of Honor here at the Kia Center, you have Shaquille O'Neal, Penny Hardaway, Tracy McGrady, and now Dwight Howard becomes the 13th person inducted into the Ring of Honor here at the Kia Center. Now, the DeVos family earlier and Dwight's family, friends, and even a former teammate were here for this induction ceremony. You know, the Coke Zero Sugar 400 is always a high-stakes race, and you can literally feel the desperation from the drivers as they are out on the track, hoping to race their way into the playoffs. Now, 12 drivers have already reached this spot in the postseason. As you can hear, the race is still going on. Yeah, despite that loss to Georgia, the Gators are trending in the right direction. That's why the university has decided to stick with head football coach Billy Napier, and they are hoping to see return on this investment.
Warner on the run, throw an interception.
The Gators have 4 regular season games left, and recruiting season is around the corner. So a decision on whether to retain Napier or let him go needed to be made.
I don't think the Gators can keep changing coaches every 2-3 years, and that's what they've done since Will Muschamp, Jim McElwain, Dan Mullen, now Billy Napier. I think they have to have some stability.
Florida is 4-4 with close losses to Georgia and Tennessee. The future looks bright in Gainesville. Napier is trying to build a strong foundation through recruiting. He brought in young talents like freshman quarterback DJ Lagway and freshman running back Jaden Baugh.
If you fire Billy Napier, DJ Lagway is probably going to be playing for Georgia or Texas next year. So I think DJ Lagway probably has saved Billy Napier's job.
Athletic director Scott Strickland said in a statement, "In these times of change across college athletics, we are dedicated to a disciplined, stable approach that is focused on long-term sustained success for Gator football." As college athletics evolves, UF is committed to embracing innovation and strategy, ensuring the Gators thrive in today's competitive landscape. Florida is 2 wins away from becoming bowl eligible, but they'll face number 5 Texas, a ranked LSU, and Ole Miss before closing out the regular season at Florida State. The university would have paid a hefty price to fire Napier. He would have been owed over $26 million in his buyout. That is the second highest buyout in college football history. Reporting on the Florida Gators, Jessica Eley, Fox 35 Sports. Ladies' night here at UCF is always one of the more fun and exciting nights in the football offseason. Women just like me get to come out here to UCF and learn more about the X's and O's of what it takes to make the football program run.
Some of you guys are coming over here way too soft-minded.
Thursday night at UCF was all about football, fun, and the ladies.
I love doing the activities because it really gets you involved in learning how to do the practicing and playing the football and playing the game.
These activities are part of Ladies Night. It's an annual event hosted by Christy Malzahn and her husband, head football coach Gus Malzahn. It gives these women an opportunity to learn about UCF football with a hands-on approach.
I think it just gives them a way to enjoy if they're not necessarily football people. They begin to enjoy because they meet the kids, they meet these players, they know the coaches.
Very excited. I look forward to this every year.
Aside from getting autographs and pictures with players, they also got to go through different offensive and defensive drills. I jumped in a few drills too and now know firsthand how much work it takes for the UCF football players to execute on game day.
Jump up, buzz your feet.
Off the field, the ladies learned about recruiting, NIL, and some football rules.
You know, we want to learn the game. We want to know what's happening. We want to know what the signals are, you know. We don't just want to say, oh, we're going to the game and sitting in the stands.
Many of these women are some of UCF football's biggest fans. After Thursday night, they're even more pumped up for the upcoming season.
I am so excited. I can't even tell you. It's going to be an amazing season.
There were nearly 300 women out here getting to experience the football life here at UCF, and they're going to have this event again next year. At UCF, Jessica Eley, Fox 35 Sports. South Orlando CrossFit is David Kellum's second home. He spends about 3 to 4 days here a week pulling, pushing, and moving some pretty heavy weights, and he says it's all going to pay off. David Kellum has always been an athlete, but 14 years ago, his life changed forever. Kellum was in a motorcycle accident that left him paralyzed from the waist down.
Initially, I was like, why did this have to happen to me?
Kellum, a 2007 Winter Park graduate, earned a scholarship to play football at Concord University in West Virginia. But the accident abruptly ended his collegiate playing career. During Kellum's rehab process, he fell in love with CrossFit.
When I was playing football and running track and all that stuff, I was never a big bench presser. But over time with CrossFit, I figured that once I had some balance and I wasn't scared I was gonna fall some left or right or something like that, if I had some balance, I knew I could push pretty hard.
Kellum finished 7th overall at the Adaptive CrossFit Games in September. He says his ultimate goal is to represent the U.S. at the next Paralympic Games in the powerlifting competition.
It's all about attitude, and being around the right people.
So right now, Kellum is just training. The start of his next season begins in February, and it's a big competition to kick things off. In Orlando, Jessica Eley, Fox 35 Sports. Welcome to the Fox 35 Sports Zone. I'm Jessica Eley. 60 games into the season, and the Magic have one of the best records in franchise history. They were 34-26 heading into tonight's game against the Pistons, and were going for the season sweep. Markelle Fultz had a season-high 16 points off of the bench. This offensive rebound putback slam was part of a run in which he scored 10 straight points for the Magic starting in the first quarter. The Magic led 59-50 at the break, but started pulling away in the third. Paolo Banchero had a team-high 29 points. And Wendell Carter Jr. added 19 points, and he had 8 rebounds with that. The Magic beat the Pistons 113-91.
You have to, give so much credit to our coaches. Playing a team 4 times is not easy. To win 4 times, they play hard. They've adjusted some things as they've gone on, but our ability to sustain our effort and continue to play together was something that I'm very proud of this group and our coaching staff for how they're getting these guys prepared for what they're going to continue to see.
The NFL Combine concludes tomorrow. A couple of UCF players got to showcase their skills in front of NFL coaches and scouts this weekend. Offensive lineman Tylen Grable had himself a day. He ran a 4.96 for his 40-yard dash, and he had the best broad jump amongst all O-linemen. Now on Saturday, wide receiver Javon Baker ran a 4.54 in the 40. Baker is a projected 4th-round draft pick. The NFL draft kicks off April 25th in Detroit. On the PGA Tour, Sunday's final round of the Cognizant Classic in the Palm Beaches was suspended for nearly 3.5 hours due to dangerous weather. Play resumed at 4:17 and was halted about 2 hours later due to darkness. The final round will finish up tomorrow. Austin Eckroat holds the lead at 15 under par. The PGA Tour continues its Florida swing at the Arnold Palmer Invitational this week. The best golfers in the world will tee it up at Bay Hill. It's the 4th of 8 signature events on tour. Now, signature event is just a limited field tournament with increased purses and FedEx Cups points with the top-ranked players in the game. So players like Scottie Scheffler and Rory McIlroy will be there. First round of the Arnold Palmer Invitational begins on Thursday. To the track now, Kyle Larson dominated Sunday's Pennzoil 400 at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. He swept all 3 stages and led for 181 laps, holding off Tyler Reddick on the final run to take the checkered flag. With Larson's 24th career win, he's punched his ticket to the NASCAR playoffs. And Iowa's Caitlin Clark made history today as she became the NCAA's all-time leading scorer in Division I, surpassing LSU's Pete Maravich, who had 3,667 points. Now, Clark only needed 18 points to break the record, but she dropped 35 points in the Hawkeyes' win over Ohio State. That's it for the Fox 35 Sports Zone. I'm Jessica Eley.